Hello everyone, my name is Jimmy and welcome back to The Last Lap. We're going to be recapping all the action that happened at Pocono this last weekend. There were 4 races that went on, so we have a lot to cover. We're going to try to get through as much as we can in as little time as we can. But before we hop into it, I just want to remind you guys to hit that subscribe button down below. It really does go a long way, helps the channel grow as well. And you can also check us out on Instagram at The Last Lap News. We try to post some things on there as well in between videos. As always, I have my friend and co-host Matthew on the show, and as you guys can see, he's in a good mood. So I don't even need to ask you how you're doing, but tell me how you're feeling.
You know, I have to celebrate every win with some good old rally energy, and of course a good old bag of M&Ms. I should be asking you that question. How are you doing? How you doing today? How you doing, man? What a day, I'll say.
I am.
You know,
I'm extremely tired. If you guys can't tell by watching this video, but Matthew's got the energy for this one. He's going to carry us in this episode. He has the.
You know, I had to do.
He's like Shannon Sharp.
Us non-Hendrick fans. You know, us non-Hendrick fans, we had to put that to a stop today. We had enough of that the past few weeks. Oh, Hendrick this, Hendrick that, Larson this, Larson that, Bowman yesterday. We had to put a stop to that. So, yeah, let's get to today. Let's get it.
All right, well, you're actually going to start us off. You're going to talk us through everything that happened on Saturday, because I was not able to catch much of the action on Saturday. I watched a little bit of the truck race, and I missed the entire cup race because I was working the tuna tournament at the Virginia Beach Oceanfront, and you were there, so it was fun to hang out for a bit. But anyways, go ahead and lead us off for the truck and the cup race on Saturday. Go ahead and tell everybody what happened.
Well, first of all, that was a fun party to go to, the thing he was hosting. But we're going to start off with the truck race this weekend. The race itself, it was nothing, much happened in that race, except for the last restart. It was mostly, once again, Kyle Busch leading as always. And then the last restart, John Hunter Nemechek got a really good restart, and I got him to the front, and then it was just between John Hunter Nemechek, Kyle Busch, and Sheldon Creed. The main problem I had was with Sheldon Creed those last few laps. It was the part when he decided to dive bomb Kyle Busch for whatever reason, when there was still like plenty of laps to go. Like, Kyle was easily catching with John Hunter. He was sticking with him. Like, it could have been like a 3-way battle for the lead, but since Sheldon Creed decided to pull that bonehead of a move, it seemed like that basically eliminated both Kyle's chances and his own chances of giving the win away to the 4 truck. So I wasn't really too happy with that move. I feel like, it's just unexperienced there, just no patience. But other than that, it was another great win for John Hunter Nemechek, and that's the 3rd time this year, and the final time, that he's able to beat the boss man, Kyle Busch, this year. So he definitely has his bragging rights this year for John Hunter Nemechek, and it's great to see him back in victory lane. And at this rate, he's gonna be winning like 10 races at this rate if he keeps it up like this. So we'll see if he keeps it up with there's only like 3 some truck races to go, so we'll see if he keeps it up for these last couple of races.
And you could go ahead and recap the cup race on Saturday. Wow, sorry. Go ahead and recap the cup race on Saturday as well.
I thought you were going to give yourself some opinion, but I'll just go ahead and go then. So the first cup race on Pocono yesterday on Saturday basically was that had to be one of the best Pocono races I've seen in a long time. I mean, yeah, the first two stages, nothing really much happened. It was basically the Busch brothers win the stages and pit strategy going on that whole time. But man, that last stage, man, that was really intense. I mean, almost the whole time it was always battle for the lead right there. First it was between Kyle Busch and Kyle Larson, and then the caution came out, and then let's see, the last restart, Alex Bowman takes the inside lane, and he had a really good restart. That led to Bowman passing Busch on the restart, and then Larson got by, and then the whole time it was between Bowman and Larson. Bowman holding it in and Larson trying to pass him, and that was intense the whole time because he was right there the whole time, and Larson really had to work his car there to get by Bowman. And so 4 laps to go, Larson finally passes Alex Bowman. And then it looked like it was going to be another Larson dominated race. The way he was pulling away, I mean, he's going to win 4 in a row. The next thing you know, you see, like on the very last turn, on the last lap, you see Larson's tire blow out, and he goes straight to the wall, and Alex Bowman and Kyle Busch go by him, and that led to Alex Bowman winning that race. His 3rd win of the season. Kyle Busch finishes 2nd. And man, that was a heartbreaker for Larson. To be honest, I kind of glad he didn't win because it was kind of getting old. I mean, I'm just saying from everybody was saying about the Toyotas back in like 2018, 2019. I'm just keeping that same energy. But, you know, if it's Hendrick, that doesn't count apparently. But yeah, Alex Bowman picks up another lucky win. Alex Bowman has become like the closest person to Kevin Harvick with these finishes, like the closer, Mr. Where did he come from? So it's definitely interesting to see that. And it was a great run for Bowman, 3rd win this season, and I will say his breakout year with three wins. I mean, almost all the Hendrick drivers have breakout years, except for Chase Elliott. But I mean, he already had this breakout year like last year. So, but yeah, it showed another Hendrick win race. But that didn't last too long because we'll talk about today's race.
Yeah, for the truck race really quick, I don't have too much to say about it, but John Hunter Nemechek, like we've said the past few episodes, he's easily looking like the championship favorite right now. And as for the whole thing between Kyle Busch and Sheldon Creed, obviously I wasn't watching most of it, but I did see the contact there, and it's hard racing. I mean, does Sheldon Creed get a little too aggressive? Maybe, but it's the final 10 laps of the truck race at Pocono, so I'm not super mad at Sheldon Creed more than obviously you're mad because you're a Kyle Busch fan, but like as a race fan in general, I didn't see anything too wrong with that move. But as for the cup race, that was just absolutely crazy, that finish. I saw all the highlights on Instagram and everything, and Kyle Larson easily had that race won, and then heading into the final corner, final lap, boom, tire blows, and his race is done. He still finished 9th, I think, somehow. I don't know how, but yeah, that was unfortunate for sure. I kind of wanted to see Kyle Larson pull it off, but it's great for Alex Bowman as well. Alex Bowman gets his 3rd win of the season. All 3 arguably have been fairly lucky. I mean, he stole the win at Richmond pretty late on the restart there. His pit crew got him in front in Dover, and then Kyle Larson blows a tire on the last lap of Pocono. But you can't put it all on luck, because he's put himself in those situations to be at the front near the end of the race, and like you said, kind of stealing Kevin Harvick's name, the closer there. So yeah, that was a great end of the race there. I didn't watch most of it, like I said, but I was able to watch everything today, and I'll go ahead and recap the Xfinity race really quick for you guys. So on Sunday, there was a doubleheader, obviously, Xfinity and Cup. Xfinity race was first, and Justin Haley had a really big crash at the start of Stage 2 when they restarted. He kind of came up off of Turn 1 and clipped somebody. I forgot who it was, but he clipped him in the right rear, and then his car shot directly to the left and hit the inside wall really hard, and then came back up on the track, and somebody else hit him in the right rear, and it was a really big hit. He got out of the car, got down on the ground, and kind of laid down. You could tell it definitely knocked the wind out of him, so big hit for him there. And Justin Allgaier actually filled in for him in the Cup race because Justin Haley was supposed to run in the 77, so Spire Motorsports was like, no, you can take the day off after that kind of hit, so they got Justin Allgaier to fill in for them. I think he did really well in the Cup car, actually. But finishing off with the Xfinity race, Harrison Burton got loose under, I believe it was Justin Allgaier, and backed it into the wall in turn 1. That's like the hardest hit in NASCAR, I would say. Hitting that outside wall at Pocono after getting loose is just ridiculous. Like Jeff Gordon's crash there in 2007, I believe, 2006, something like that. One of the biggest crashes I've seen Jeff Gordon have when he backed it into the wall there. So turn 1 at Pocono, not a good spot to get loose and back it into the wall. But Harrison Burton was involved there. There were green flag pit stops in stage 3, and Daniel Hemrick is the biggest choker in the Xfinity series right now because he sped twice, not on that same cycle of green flag pit stops, but he sped twice in this race, sped again on pit road during those green flag pit stops, and gave away any chance of getting a good finish or even possibly a win. Austin Cindric would go on to win the race. He was up front for most of the time. Ty Gibbs was up there as well. It was pretty much those two kind of battling it out late in the race there, but Austin Cindric pulled away, and he would go on to win the Xfinity race. And I'll go ahead and hop into the Cup race. You can provide your feedback for Xfinity if you want to after I'm done, but for the Cup race, the end of stage 1 was really interesting because William Byron was a lap down, and he was able to catch Martin Truex Jr. and barely beat him to the line to get back on the lead lap before the end of stage 1. And that pretty much saved his race because he was up there in contention for most of the rest of the race, and that definitely saved him by staying on the lead lap there. Throughout stage 2, Kyle Busch had transmission issues. His car was stuck in 4th gear, so any kind of restart they had, he would drop like a rock because obviously you need to start in 1st gear, then 2nd, 3rd, and make your way to 4th, whatever. And they tried to fix it at the end of stage 2, and they weren't really able to do anything about it. They tried to do some type of redneck mechanical work on it, throw a bungee cord in there. The dude jumped in he jumped in the right window and got in there and was diving in there trying to move everything around and everything, but it didn't end up working out. So I'm guessing Kyle just had to hold the shifter in 4th gear and I don't know how he did it for that long too. It started in stage 2, and stage 3 was 50 laps, and stage 2 was 40, I believe, or something. So props to him for being able to hang on to that car and not blow it up. So he had to drop back to the back of the field. When they restarted stage 3, actually, he was coming off of turn 3 as they were basically going into turn 1. Stage 3 was basically the fuel mileage race again. But before that, Ross Chastain and Christopher Bell made contact coming off of turn number 3, and then coincidentally a lap later, Chase Elliott got into Christopher Bell as well, and that basically ended all 3 of those guys' days. Chase Elliott had to pit twice under green because of flat tires, and not the best day for him. I'm going to put this race behind me, but another fuel mileage race at Pocono, and it came down to Kevin Harvick, Brad Keselowski, Ryan Blaney. The 3 of them pitted throughout the stage, and they were good on fuel. They were pretty much the only drivers that were guaranteed to make it to the end. And drivers like Kyle Busch, William Byron, Denny Hamlin, Kurt Busch, all of them were trying to save as much fuel as they could to get to the end, and Kyle Busch had 1 extra lap compared to all of that group of cars, and it ended up paying out for him because William Byron had to pit with 2 or 3 laps to go. And then that cycled Denny Hamlin to the lead, and Denny Hamlin had to pit coming to the white flag, and Kyle Busch took the lead from Hamlin and was able to coast around the track and come back around and win his 2nd race of the season. So he had a good car as well. Like, it wasn't just a fuel mileage win. He had a really good car today. I feel like him and Byron had the 2 best cars, but Kyle Busch able to hang on and get the win after all kinds of transmission issues. a terrible day, somehow scraped it out and got the win. I was telling you, I was like, as soon as it happened and stage 3 happened, I was like, this is a fuel mileage race. He's still in this. He's not out of it. If it goes green and so he gets on a different strategy than other people, he could win this. So you're welcome for that. I know you were kind of mad when that transmission thing happened, but I was like, it's not over, and you didn't believe me until he actually won. So go ahead and tell me your thoughts for the Xfinity race if you want to, and also the Cup race.
Well, I got nothing much to say about the Xfinity race other than that Austin Cindric almost choked it at the end of the race dealing with that live traffic, and Ty Gibbs almost winning that. But other than that, it was just Cindric winning. But anyways, yeah, what an eventful day. I mean, when I heard something about that transmission, it was very early in the race when we were hearing stuff about that. I'm like, well, there goes our race. Because you don't understand how hard it is, especially when you're going down pit road and on restarts. When you're stuck in the fourth gear, your car has a big old parachute in the back compared to everybody else. I mean, it's just hard to get rolling. And yeah, we saw that a couple times on pit road. He had a hard time getting out. I'm like, yeah, this race is over for us. And I'm just like Kyle Busch sometimes. When I see a problem, I'm like, yep, pack it up, let's go home. It's over. I can be like that sometimes, but yeah, I'm just thankful we didn't have a lot of restarts because he had to start all the way in the back because it took him a long time to get going, and he was able to get up there all the way from the back to the front, and then of course when the field strategy came in, he put himself in the right spot. And he was really good on field. Thankfully, because of those extra pit stops we had to make with the whole transmission thing, the bungee cord stuff, we were able to get extra fuel than everybody else. So we had to actually, we didn't have to save that much, and we only had to save like a lap compared to like some other people, and that gave us an advantage. And Denny Hamlin just didn't really have that much luck with fuel, and he had to pit with the white flag. I really thought Hamlin was going to win this race because, I mean, he was looking real good with his fuel strategy as well. He was in that same area with Kyle Busch, so I thought he was going to win that race, but I guess he just didn't save enough, and that gave Kyle Busch the lead there. And thankfully, Kyle Larson was like 8 seconds back. So that gave us a whole lot of breathing room to back it down and save fuel. And we were able to save just enough because right when he crossed the start finish line, he said he was out. So we got lucky there. Man, I mean, to be honest, this win has to be one of the most hard and impressive wins I have seen from him in his career. I'm not talking about like championship races. I'm talking about like the adversity that he had. The last time he had a race like that was kind of like 2019 at Bristol, when the very beginning of the race he spun out, had his whole rear end destroyed. He was able to get up front and win that race. Let's see. I'm trying to think there was the other ones. Let's see. Can I look any in the back? No, not really that much. Not really, other than that. But yeah, this has to be one of the most impressive wins I've seen in his career when it comes to like the adversity he had with the transmission issues, and at the same time saving fuel. I mean, it's definitely impressive. And he also had to get all the way back from the back of the field to the front because of that transmission. So this was definitely one of his most impressive wins I've seen in his career in the Cup Series. And yeah, this is a good time to be winning, especially getting near the playoffs. You want to start building momentum. So this was definitely important to win today, especially to break up that whole Hendrick streak that's been going on lately.
Yeah, so actually, on top of that, Bubba Wallace ended up getting his first top 5 with 2311 Racing. So that was really cool to see.
Nice
Bubba finally a top 5 there, so that was really cool to see. And then also Ryan Preece and Tyler Reddick also finished inside the top 10, so great run for those guys as well. But yeah, Kyle Busch getting a little bit lucky there with the fuel strategy and everything. William Byron was in the lead, he had to pit. Denny Hamlin was in the lead, he had to pit. Kyle Busch had that extra lap on both of those guys, and that seemed like it paid off, and he was able to hang on and get the win, save some fuel there. So, and I'm not saying the Hendrick streak is over, because they're still looking good. Like, the win streak might be over, but they're still looking pretty strong. Kyle Busch looking strong as well, so it might be the Kyle and Kyle show throughout the summer. I don't know. We'll have to see.
We'll see.
Yeah, definitely good race there at Pocono. Let's go ahead and we'll rate the race. We'll like kind of combine it into both of them. So I think for the whole Pocono weekend, I'll give both of these races I'll combine it and do like a 7 out of 10. I really liked the end of the Saturday race. That was really good. Well, 7. I'll give it an 8. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I'll combine it into an 8 out of 10, mostly because of the finishes of both of these races. Saturday was incredible with the whole Larson blowing a tire and Bowman kind of stealing that one. And apparently the racing was really good in Stage 3 as well. And then today you had fuel mileage race. I always love a good fuel mileage race every now and then, just to see who's going to make it, who's not, who's going to pit, who's going to stay out, who's going to stretch fuel, who's going to pit, all that kind of stuff. So that was really cool to see a fuel mileage race play out. So I'll combine these races into an 8 out of 10. So how about you?
I'm actually going to give it a 7 out of 10. I thought the finish yesterday was just a little bit better because of how the last stage, or the race yesterday, that's what I mean, was a little bit better, because that whole last stage was the lead battling the whole entire time between Larson and Busch, and then it was Larson and Bowman, and then Larson blew a tire in the last lap. I mean, it was just incredible to see. So I thought the racing yesterday was just a teeny bit better, but I am so glad we finally seen fuel mileage races again. I mean, I miss fuel mileage races. I think they make some of these tracks are quote unquote boring, like Pocono. Makes it much more interesting when it comes to when they have these fuel mileage races, because you don't have no idea who's saved enough. You have no idea who's going to win this race. So it was definitely great to see fuel mileage races again. That's the only thing I don't like about the stages, is that most of the time it eliminates the fuel mileages. But today I'm glad they had the fuel mileage race. So yeah, 7 out of 10.
Yeah, it's always great to see a fuel mileage race, and it seems like Pocono always finds a way to make it happen with these fuel mileage races. There's been quite a few over the past few years, so great to see some good racing at Pocono. I know we were both kind of on the skeptical kind of side of it heading into the week with our preview video, but it turns out pretty decent weekend at Pocono, I would say. So that's great to see, and now we're gonna unfortunately check on our fantasy points, where you got 5 over the weekend, points. And I got 1. I got the truck 1, and you got Bowman on Saturday, so that was 2, and then you got Kyle Busch today, that was 3. So you got 5, I got 1, and now we're back to you at 26 and me at 15. So you just open your lead right back up, and you'll get to go first next week at Road America, which I'm sad about because I already know who you're going to pick next week at Road America for your main pick, or your second pick or something. But yeah, not looking too good there for me. But do you have any closing thoughts or anything before we wrap it up?
Well, it's been a great couple of weekends. Kyle Busch wins his 100th Xfinity win. Then was at Nashville Super Speedway, and now today Kyle Busch brings home another win. So I think we're gonna celebrate with some rowdy energy tonight, and get ready for another new track next week, and I'm excited about that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Road America as well, specifically because Chase Elliott has had a terrible past 2 races. Nashville had the lug nut thing, ended up getting DQ'd for it, and this week at Pocono, just not the best car. He got some damage early in Saturday's race, and then Also, his car wasn't the best today either, and got the same damage with Christopher Bell, and pretty much screwed his race there. So not a good couple weeks for Chase Elliott, but thankfully, heading into a road course, hopefully we can get a good run there. Doesn't have to be a win. Doesn't have to be a win, honestly. Just a good run, like a top 5. I'll honestly take that. Just any kind of momentum moving forward so we can get these playoffs started in just a few weeks. But that's going to wrap it up for this video. We'll be talking about everything Road America later this week, previewing that for you guys. But until then, we will see you guys in the next video.